Hey there. Good evening, everyone. This week is a special episode of the Saturday Night Hockey Show. We had to record this on Thursday night. Travis is on travel this week down in Charlotte. So, we recorded the show ahead of time on Thursday night. So, we're missing talk about the Eric Stahl trade to Montreal for a third and a sixth or something like that. Whatever, get him out of town, get some picks for him. Sabres also have extended their losing streak to 17 straight games with a loss today. Uh, New York dropped another bomb on Philadelphia before Philadelphia came back this afternoon and took a nice tight 2-1 game. Just a few things that are happening coming up in the next few weeks is the trade deadline. But we have our pre-recorded show from Thursday night, and we hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us a line in the chat. I'll be monitoring the chat as well, and answering questions and talking with you. So look forward to being live with you guys next week. Travis will probably be in a hotel room next week, but we'll be doing it live, and we'll see you next week. But enjoy the show, everyone. And without further ado. Hey there. Welcome to the Saturday Night Hockey Show. This is actually being filmed on Thursday. But Dave Valente, Travis Rednick is always with us. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Ready for this week to be over. I've been looking at resumes all week.
Yeah, I've seen some of your Facebook posts. That looks like it sucks. I'm not good at picking anything, let alone people.
Yeah, I'm not. The amazing thing is, like, usually there's like a bot that will sort through all these resumes and kind of give you a pick 'em of the good people. I don't think it worked this time.
Well, I saw that you said that there were people that had like high school stuff on their resume from 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean that. See, I don't get that. Like, if you're in a mid, and this is actually closer, not quite senior level, but it's a mid career professional degree. If you're at that level, don't put high school on there.
Yeah.
If you're applying to Chick-fil-A, if you're applying to perhaps if that's your highest level of education, and you're more in a service industry, perhaps. But if
you just need filler.
Yeah, if you're applying for a blue collar job or a white collar job, once you've hit your 15-year reunion, nix it. You don't need it anymore because nobody really cares where you went to high school. I mean, the only thing interesting about my high school is that it's the one that Mike Judge based Beavis and Butthead off of. So, Big Pink High School called Highland High School in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Big Pink High School.
Yeah, it's a pink stucco. Well, it was a pink stucco high school. It got painted to more of a beige. Out in New Mexico, pink stucco is not that unusual. It's more reflecting the sun and everything. But
you said Big Pink. The first thing I thought was the house that the band filmed or the band recorded their album Music from the Big Pink in.
Yeah.
I laughed at that title for like 5 years until I found out what it was, and I was like, "This is not nearly as funny anymore."
Yeah. All right. So I'm parched. Let's see. So the big story this week: a hot mic caught referee Tim Peel saying that he was itching to call a penalty on the Nashville Predators. I guess because the Detroit Red Wings had taken a few penalties already, and was promptly fired by the NHL
immediately.
That was surprising how fast it came. And I will tell you the other thing that's very surprising about that is that the union has not really
done
anything. I thought the union would do something.
That happened in the second period, and I swear I think he was fired by the end of the game.
I'm sure he was.
Like, man, that's And granted, I hate Tim Peel. I hate Tim Peel's play calling. I hate Tim Peel's penalties. I've known his name for a long time because I just don't like him.
It explains why he is such a bad ref. I mean, he was.
Well, there's some refs that you know their name because you love them, like Wes McCauley. Dude, I like to watch him more than half the players on the ice whenever he's reffing a game.
Yeah,
I mean, because he's funny, he has a personality, and it comes through and it's like a really undertone thing. If Tim Peel has a personality, it's like a caricature of Hitler. It's just the dude doesn't come off well at all.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I think it should have been a fireable thing because it's one of those realities of the game.
Yeah, it happens.
It has to. That being said, this dude was how far from retirement? It was like no time. They're just going to leave him on the payroll, sweep it under the rug. We'll forget about this as fast as possible, and we move on.
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't. I think that we should just keep bringing it up and just drag this dude forever. Because that's the dumbest hot mic. I think it should be a highlight reel of goals scored because this dude got canned. You know?
It was pretty impressive how fast it happened. I mean, I was and again the whole fact that the referees union have not done any. I was thinking they were going to do some kind of industrial action where they would maybe call out for a game, and there's nothing that the NHL could do at that point because you can't bring in outside referees to call the game because of the COVID protocols.
Yep.
You would just have to cancel a full slate of games and send the NHL scrambling to reschedule all of them while they deal with whatever's going on with the union. But the union kept their powder dry. I'm wondering if there is some kind of my guess is that they really consulted the union before they made the action.
My guess is that Tim Peel was as unlikable in person as he is on the ice.
Perhaps.
And everybody was sitting in the union hall smoking cigars, drinking bourbon, having a little going away party, and he wasn't invited to it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Let's see.
I think our other big story is, and we'll get into it later, I know, but Canada is now only requiring a 1-week quarantine for incoming players, just in time for it to make sense for the trade deadline. Anybody trying to cross the border.
It's a bare naked ladies quarantine period. 1 week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Listen.
Scurry's reference. There we go.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, let's take a look at the standings as we go into. We're looking at Thursday night games. So, which game are you looking at?
I have on New York and Philadelphia, only in the hopes that Brendan Lemieux is going to try to defend that middleweight title that he earned against Boston with Kevin Hayes. I think Kevin Hayes and Brendan Lemieux would be a fantastic fight.
Sure. I got to fix this screen. All right. There we go. All right, so Central Division. Who do you got hot in this division?
Hot right now is still Florida. I think that Huberdeau has officially moved into the position of most underrated player in the league.
Oh, yeah, he was that this year. I mean, when they going into the year. They've never valued Huberdeau because he flies under the radar because he plays in Florida. I mean, that's the bad thing about him. I mean, he is a legit superstar. If he was playing in if he played in Montreal, that's all we'd hear about is Jonathan Huberdeau.
Well, if you look at big name forwards getting moved out of Florida, look at Vincent Trocheck.
Yeah.
Trocheck gets out of Florida, goes to Carolina. Dude's a monster. Everybody loves Vinny. So I think that, Huberdeau, I don't know how long he's got left on his contract. I think that you could see something like that with him in one of the Metro teams. I think just about any of the Metro teams would love to have him because he is such a – well, yeah, but I'm saying that there's a need for a well-rounded forward on everybody in the Metro, even if it's even with Boston, second line Boston with Huberdeau, that would be sick.
No, please don't put him on Boston.
Buffalo. Buffalo can trade Jeff Skinner for Jonathan Hoover.
That's
I
funny.
can't even get done saying it.
That's good.
Sure hot.
My hot is Andre Vasilevsky, man. The guy's got 12 wins in a row through 3 shutouts, 1.64 goals against average, and like a 938 save percentage. I mean, just
Can't argue with it.
He's like, he's 6'30" and 500 pounds and covers like 90% of the net at all times, but still, he's getting it done. He's like 2 wins away from setting the record for goalie wins in a row. That's a good record that you can set, unlike my Sabres.
I feel like this, yeah. The Sabres are out here setting records too, but
Yeah.
I feel like this year shouldn't count for records. Everything's so wacky.
It is wacky. I mean, it's in some ways it's harder though because you are playing the same teams over and over again, and it's not like there isn't a if it was like Buffalo and Detroit and Ottawa and who else? Anaheim in that division, then perhaps you could make the case that they're just feasting off the bad teams. But he's doing it against. He'll do it against Carolina. He'll do it against Florida. He'll do it against Dallas. He'll do it against Chicago. He's equal opportunity beatdown.
I'm excited to see what he does in a regular season again.
Yeah.
Which
it'll be interesting to see where this team goes once Nikita Kucherov comes back.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. I could see him on a repeat. I wouldn't if you wake me up the day after the Cup and say Tampa won, I'd just be like, okay.
Yeah.
Tampa. Well, really? Tampa won. Yeah.
Tampa, interestingly enough, has as many losses as Buffalo has wins.
Has Buffalo put more points up than McDavid now, or is it still?
They actually, scored some decent number of times against the Rangers. It was like a 5-3 loss, and they lost 5-2 the other night. So we got another 5 goals.
A pretty good period where it was hanging Buffalo. Was it like 61, like the entire team, and then McDavid was it?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if McDavid beats him. I mean, that's just how bad things are going in Buffalo. But
speaking of things that are terrible, your Dallas Stars.
Oh, we're in agreement here.
How did we get here? What happened?
So it's not. I was looking at the numbers. It's not the goaltending. Like Bishop and Ottinger.
No, it's not.
Are both sub 3 goals against average, and then they're both like over 9-10 save percentage. The problem is not the goaltending. The problem in that team is guys like Jamie Benn with only 5 goals in 25 games. Dude, that's where you're having the issues.
I'll tell you one name I haven't heard once this year. It was one of the biggest names last year. Where is Joe Pavelski?
Isn't he injured?
Is he?
I
didn't even hear about him getting injured. I feel like he's still playing, but he's just that bad right now.
Yeah.
But like Radulov had that lower body, and he came back, and then he popped off one game and went nuts, and then tanked. And now I don't even know if he's. I'm staying so far away from Dallas because like you can smell the loss from here. It's bad. It's just a beatdown.
Oh no, he's like, I mean, not great. I mean, but he's leading the team in goals with 14.
Which I can't say anything because that's better than anybody on Arizona. We just had a few guys break double digits the other day, but still.
He's got 29 points this year. 14
but
goals.
They've fallen so far into irrelevance that you don't even hear about the star players.
No. The only thing you hear about is Anton Hudobin having his issues. And then but he played a lights out game the other night. And they lost 2-1 to Tampa. But I mean, it was like midway through the third period, and they were stuck on 12 shots. Like that's unacceptable. You can't put that on Hudobin. if you're at 12 shots midway through the third period, you're just not getting it done.
Right.
So, yeah, their offense needs a whole fix. I mean, that's hey, if you want Eric Stahl and Taylor Hall, come on down, man. We'll take Joel Kiviranta off you.
So, are you guys officially going to go into tank mode here?
Is this not a tank?
Well, I mean, are we deflating the Sabres balloon now? Is that what's happening?
The balloon was never inflated. Well, it hasn't been inflated since.
You know what I'm saying? Go into rebuild and try.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, I think I would be okay with them just doing a complete strip down, including Eichel, including Dahlin. Just strip it down and get everything you can for them.
Speaking of terrible things happening in Buffalo, Ristolainen against the Penguins. I don't know what his deal was, but it was the dumbest cross check I've ever seen.
He gets frustrated from time to time, and
I think it was Cook, man, and like he caught Ristolainen's pass and just sent it straight back. Nice. It just sent it straight back, and then like immediately Ristolainen's like right behind him, just cross checking knocks him down, and he's on his like hands and knees, and Ristolainen's just banging it, dude. And it took him like 4 or 5 cross checks of this dude on the ice to make the call. They didn't even want to make the call; they were just going to let it go.
Yeah,
he was pulling me off of him. He was about it.
Yeah, I think he's reached the breaking point. Honestly, of this team, Ristolainen and Reinhart are the only two that would be okay with keeping.
I love Sam Reinhart.
But anyway, actually, so for the East Division, who do you have as a hot team or player?
I got the Pittsburgh Penguins. A team that I thought had absolutely no potential this year has basically kicked my teeth out to show me I'm wrong. And there is no denying that the Penguins, no matter how old or how frail or how young and inexperienced they are still finding a way to prevail. So good for the old Dirty Birds.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to think for the Penguins, what would have happened if the ownership and Jim Rutherford were seeing eye to eye and they actually moved Chris Letang and Rutherford stayed there and started the rebuild?
I don't know if they're anything past a low-level playoff contender, though.
Yeah, I don't know that they'll make much noise in the playoffs unless they play the Caps, and they, outside of the Caps' run to the Stanley Cup a couple of years ago, they tend to have the Caps' number in the playoffs. So, the way it's shaking out right now, it's Crosby Ovechkin in round 1. That will be a heck of a matchup.
I just want to see Ovi do to Crosby what he did to Svechnikov in playoffs a few years ago.
That would be awesome.
Do you know?
But that would retire Crosby.
I've always wondered what would happen if somebody just slugged Crosby.
That's the one thing.
I don't think
whenever I play NHL, like any of the EA Sports NHL games, I'm always cheap shotting Crosby. Just every time he comes near me.
It's just like it's one of those guys, man. I would love to see somebody drop the gloves on Crosby and get at least one good hit because I don't think that guy can take a hit.
Well, he's fought in the past. I mean, it's been a long time, but he's not afraid to drop the gloves. I mean, he doesn't do it that often, but he is kind of a cheap shot artist too. I mean, I remember when Ryan O'Reilly was on the Sabres and he cup checked him in front of the net. And he was brutal, and they didn't even call it or anything. I don't think he even got a fine off of it.
Sometimes that dude just needs hit.
Yeah. My hot guy is Ilya Sorokin, man. He's got 8 wins in a row and 2 shutouts in that stretch, 1.35 goals against average, and 944 save percentage. That was my prediction for the Calder this year. I don't know that he gets it with Kirill the Thrill
Dollar Bill Corral still going, but
God, I love that kid. He is so good.
he's sick, man.
Also,
Yeah.
just a fun little thing. Crosby's last fighting major was 10-5-19.
It's not too long ago, so that's 2 seasons ago.
It's not, but it was against Pierre-Luc Dubois, and I don't know if that should count.
Yeah. Well, I mean, got to give him props for dropping the gloves with the history of concussions. I mean,
He's had 7 career fighting majors.
it's actually more than I thought he had.
I don't even know who else's fault. I mean, it's just weird to think about. It's like hot
I mean,
chicks
it's not like,
pooping.
Jerome McGinley dropping the gloves, but, he's done it enough that he doesn't have to do it.
Also, Rags are up by 1.
Oh, okay. So my not hot Taylor Hall, what are you doing, man?
I'm so glad he's there. Dude, I didn't like Taylor Hall when we got him. I didn't like Taylor Hall when he played for Edmonton. I did like Taylor Hall when he played for Jersey because I thought that was going to shake out a lot better. I am so glad that we dumped him. Oh, Rangers up by 2.
Oh, there you go.
Pavel Buchnevich.
Man, they're gonna drop another deuce or drop another snowman plus on the Flyers again. Who's in net for the Flyers? Is it Carter Hart?
Got hot.
Man, 2 goals this early.
Ooh, and that wasn't even a good shot. That was a very minor 2-on-1, but it was like a long distance 2-on-1, like plenty of time to set up.
Jeez.
And it just one-timer across, and he put it right over his shoulder.
That's the last thing that Carter Hart needs is another beatdown like that. I mean, I know that Brian Elliott was in nets to start that game, but Carter Hart still gave up like 4 goals in that game. So,
dude, they had a 6-foot box to shoot at to get that goal.
Yikes. But yeah, Taylor Hall, I mean, like last night, he just kind of flips a pass and just, roasts Rasmus Dahlin for a shorthanded goal. And he just, I've never seen a guy that looks as ready to get the hell out of Buffalo as Taylor Hall.
Same thing in Arizona. He's the exact same way. Where does he want to go? What does this guy want?
Well, that's the thing. Who's going to trade for this guy? I mean, you watch this.
Somebody that wants a first-round draft pick.
Here's the dumb thing. Like, this should have been the point. I mean, he signed a 1-year deal in Buffalo.
He signed a 1-year deal in Arizona.
And for lack of a better term, shit the bed this bad, he is just costing himself money.
Well, he was on a 1-year deal in Jersey, too.
No, 2 years.
So,
was
2? It 2?
Yeah.
I thought it was 1. Oh, we got to fight. Who is it? I can't see numbers. Abe Kubel.
Obey Kubel, yeah.
And he definitely won against Smith. 42. Is that Jacob Smith?
So,
ooh, that was a mean cross check to the head is what started that one from the Rangers.
Rangers threw the cross check?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? You're up 2-0. You beat this team down the other night last week. And then you get in a situation where you're up 2-0 in the game, you've got all the momentum, and then you allow them to fight you. You do a dumb penalty and you allow them to fight you and then get your ass kicked.
Yeah, that should have been probably a game misconduct for that cross check.
The coach should be stapling. I mean, if it's not a game misconduct, the coach should staple the guy's pants to the bench.
They're both in the box, and I mean it was like an actual. It was behind the shoulder.
Yeah,
and just straight down on the back of his neck.
Ooh,
yeah. You'll have to check out a replay. Anybody who watches this, I'm sure you'll probably see it because that's going to be something. That's not a non-call. That should have been called a little bit better.
Yeah. Who's your not hot player in the East?
If just disclaimer, it's Buffalo, but also Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Buffalo is so far separated from everybody else. If you say anybody but Buffalo, it's because you just don't look at them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm refusing to watch the game tonight. I'm like, I'm done with it.
You didn't watch one the other night. I was texting you during the game. I was like, "Hey, man, this was," and you were like, "I'm not watching."
Well, part of it was because I had just taken the COVID vaccine and I was wiped out.
Oh yeah, you got it.
I got some symptoms off that one. I was like, oh,
Your free
I was-
night's sleep.
well, yeah, I was already asleep when that game started. But yeah, it's easy to pick anybody on Buffalo. The only good news that we're getting is that Allmark might be coming back, but who knows what team he's going to be coming back to in the next few games. So
Your equipment manager seems like a cool guy.
hey, they pulled up Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, which is the best name to say in hockey.
Ukko-Pekka
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Ukko-Pekka?
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Yes.
Dude, I swear if you walked up behind me in a bar and said that, I'd probably just turn around and slug you.
Like, when did I go to Finland? What the? No, it's so he's the goaltender of the future for the Sabres. They've been kind of grooming him. They didn't want to throw him into this dumpster fire, but they brought him up to be on the taxi squad because Carter Hutton likely has played his last game for Buffalo, which is kind of a relief.
Well, the one discrepancy I have with that statement is that you said future goaltender of Buffalo. I don't think Buffalo has a future, so
There's always tomorrow. So
we can only hope. Who is your hot in the West?
Related story between Buffalo and the West. Jonas Johansson was traded by the Buffalo Sabres on Saturday. Officially became official on Saturday as we were doing the show. And John Vogel, formerly of the Buffalo News, now of I think the Athletic, put out a tweet saying that Colorado just sent a draft pick to the Buffalo Sabres for the worst goaltender he has seen in his 19 years involved in professional hockey. He could not stop a puck in a game or in practice. And then Jonas Johansson played his first game for Colorado the other night against your Arizona Coyotes. Had a 4-2 lead in the third and blew that. He actually gave up 2 goals in his first 8 shots. Colorado storms back and takes a 4-2 lead, and then he blows that 2-goal lead. They go to overtime, no score in overtime. Aiden Hill played really well in that game, and then in the shootout, he gave up goals on all 3 shots in the shootout. So thanks for the 6th. I'll just say that right now. Not that we're going to do anything with it, but we got something for it. In the West, my hot is man. It's strange because Minnesota's still there, but this really is a two-team race. Both these teams are just scorching. Vegas,
Yeah.
Colorado. Colorado did lose the game in the shootout the other night, but that was, they're still like 8-1 of the last 9 games. So I mean they're 8-0-1 in the last 9 games. So they're still rolling. But the funny thing is, as hot as they are not catching the Vegas Golden Knights because they're just as hot.
Yeah, I think that right now what we're seeing out of Colorado for that game was let's give Grubauer a break. Let's see what new guys got. It was a win on several fronts for them to put him in, even if it wasn't a number win.
Sure.
Yeah, and I don't know what their schedule looks like coming up, but I would say they're playing somebody they're somewhat concerned with for giving Grubauer a rest. My hot right now is Kirill Kaprizov.
The thrill.
Yeah. Goodbye, Phil. Welcome, Krill.
Yeah.
This kid is super, super, super good.
Yeah,
Those breakaways that he's taking, he looks like Marco Grabner, except he actually closes the deal. It's crazy.
I mean, he looks like Timo. He looks like Timo when he was a rookie with Winnipeg.
I feel like I say everybody looks like Timu. I don't know why Timu's the guy that I go to. I see one one move that looks like a Timu move, and then that's like my immediate. It looks like Timu. Yeah, you know what I mean.
But no, he does. I mean, he's got those moves. He's got the breakaway. I mean, you could say Timu, you could say Pavel Bure. I mean, just that speed and moves.
That's a big name to throw in there, though.
Yeah. Well, they're both big names. I mean, Timu, you know, Pavel Bure was cut short because of his knee issues.
If Pavel
by the
Bure
time he
would have
got to-
stayed healthy, he would have been the best
you know,
Russian forward of all time.
probably. But his career was cut short before it really got to that heavy trap game.
Can we blame Scott Stevens for that?
Yeah, well, we can blame
He
Scott.
didn't have anything to do with it, but I just want to blame Scott Stevens for it.
Well, no, you just got to blame Pavel's knees. But Timu played all through that heavy trap era, and that, you know, that's what kept his numbers. Why he didn't look quite as good as you know, some of his other just earlier contemporaries that played. You know, he only got a couple seasons where, you know, he's playing against awful goals. 3-0.
3-0, and guess who?
Is Bandajad?
The Rangers aren't even celebrating.
Oh
They're
man,
just
they've already
standing-
stopped celebrating.
They're just standing on the ice and like staring at Carter Hart. It was a really nice tip in. It looks like it was a 4-man tip in. It was a cross ice pass,
Does it tip?
and then it got tipped by maybe Dylan Strome, and then it got tipped by Zibanejad and redirected again. And I don't know any goaltender in the league that would have actually stopped that.
No.
But the fact that it's Carter Hart and it's Philadelphia makes me feel really bad for Carter Hart. I wonder if his mom's watching this game. I don't feel like she would. I think that we're there.
All right. So who's your hot, not hot team or player?
Well, hot is Krill.
Yeah.
My not is, I don't know, man. Just pick any miscellaneous player from the bottom 3 teams. Slap the label on them and we'll roll. It's, you know, the only thing nice I can say about San Jose is they might get out of Erik Karlsson. There's speculation that somebody might be interested in Erik Karlsson for some reason.
Wow.
I don't remember
They're going to
who.
have to send a first round pick with him.
Probably because he's locked in until he's like 36.
Yeah. A hard contract to take, especially given his health situation. Yeah.
That's going to be a buyout. I would do anything to get out of Karlsson right now if I was him.
That was one of the things that they suggested coming out of this, out of the bubble, was perhaps every team getting one compliance by a freebie that doesn't count against the cap. But they decided not to do that. But one day we should do a show and pick which player on each team would get that compliance buyout.
That would be fun to do right after the trade deadline.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. For me, you know, I hate to bomb them because they've been competitive all year, but you know, the Kings are starting to fall back a little bit. They're now 6th in the division, behind Arizona.
Dude, the Kings can fall back all they want because whenever these prospects start coming up and get about a year on them, the Kings are going to be stacked.
Yeah, or you know, they're going to use some of these blue chips to bring in guys. You know, there's always been that rumor about, you know, people have said, you know, Eichel to New York. I don't think Eichel goes to New York. I think Eichel gets traded out west.
I
Before
think Eichel goes to St. Louis.
oh God, no, that's too much. That's too raw. That's too raw to trade to St. Louis. Nobody wants that. We haven't had a good trade with St. Louis since we got Jochen Hecht.
I don't know that we've ever even had a trade to St. Louis.
No, you guys only trade with Chicago. That's the only team you guys ever trade with.
No, we trade with
The Rangers sometimes.
yeah, you got a little bit of the Rangers going on. It is mostly Chicago.
Like you're a farm team of Chicago.
Yeah, I think that we've done quite a bit with Never mind. I'll try. There's another one that I'm always complaining about him being better than us because we just trade players back and forth all the time. It's not Chicago. So
What else do you guys try?
anyway, how about that other division that we haven't done yet?
Yeah. We got another division. El Norte. El
Yes.
Norteños.
The up there.
The Hoser division.
The pride of Canada. My beloved. If you say anybody other than Connor McDavid, you're dumb and wrong. It's Connor
Oh, yeah.
McDavid.
I mean,
Connor McDavid's the best player in hockey currently.
yeah, I mean, I gave him the heart last week. The only reason, and it's not that I'm just saying McDavid this week. I'm just saying Edmonton, as by and large, is the hot team in this division. They're 7-3 over the last 10.
Edmonton looks way better right now
Three
than
in a
I
row.
expect them to. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Smith really stabilized the situation back there. I mean, look at their plus minus. They're
Dude, I never thought that I'd be like, yeah, Mike Smith looks pretty good right now. But Mike Smith looks pretty good right now.
yeah. I mean, he's kind of made that whole trek north and across, and I guess he's finally found a home in Edmonton. But again, I don't know that this team goes that deep, but it just depends on who they play that first round. If it's Winnipeg, I got Winnipeg in that matchup.
I would say Winnipeg, but I honestly feel like it's going to be one of those shootout upset highlight reel. It's going to be McDavid or it's going to be Draisaitl, and they're going to absolutely lay it to him in a shootout and win a series. Oh, we got another one.
So four.
No, it was an attempted fight. It was Travis Konechny not wanting any part of
No. Connecting.
Strome and Konechny.
Yeah.
And looks like Strome's actually – oh, no, he's back on the bench. I thought that he was going down the hall. That's weird.
So in this division, I'm going to throw a bomb on two teams. Both Vancouver and Calgary have picked a bad time to kind of regress a little bit. Calgary had been really hot last week. Thatcher Demko had been playing lights out, and I think they just played him a little bit too much. They brought in Braden Holtby. He lost the Hockey Night in Canada game, and then last game, Demko came back and lost. So it's his first loss in like 4 or 5 games. But Calgary, same thing. They've lost 3 in a row. And, it's a hard part of the schedule for Calgary because they're playing Toronto. They're not playing a whole bunch, but they're falling further and further behind Montreal. Montreal's almost kind of getting this playoff position by default. Yes, the points are fairly close right now, but look at those games in hand. 6 games in hand on Vancouver. And Calgary is 3 games in hand now. So the Canadians are in COVID protocol right now, and it's actually a good thing for them because no one's gaining on them right now. Ottawa's not going to get anywhere near them. Although look at Ottawa. Ottawa's not that far off of Calgary right now.
It's all Tim Stützle.
Yeah, Tim Stützle is a stud. I mean, he's just pure. I mean, he really is just kind of moxie on the ice. I mean, he's just, and not like asshole moxie like Kachuk.
No, he's got that Mayweather swagger.
Yeah, I mean, he's
It's
just
not too much. It's not like all E style, but it's like it's enough.
Yeah, it's enough, and it's that kind that. I mean, honestly, it's kind of like when Eichel first came into the league. That you knew he was a top flight player. Hopefully Tim Stützle doesn't go through 6 seasons of pants shitting. But that'll beat down any player. So, but yeah, that's it for those for the divisions.
Also my knot.
Oh yeah, you're not.
My knot for the North is the second worst contract in the league. with Matt Murray.
Mm,
Matt Murray behind Jeff Skinner is the worst contract in the NHL currently.
I can believe that. Although what? Hey, Skinner's starting to score.
Yeah, what's he up to? 2?
He's at 3 in the last week.
3.
So, not bad. Not bad. I figured once he kind of pulled the monkey off his back, he would start scoring. Not like he wouldn't get back up to 40 goal pace or anything, but
Any performance is better than no performance at that price point.
yeah. I mean, my thing with Jeff Skinner this whole season is like I watch him play. He's not getting chances. He was just. I don't know if he was just snake bit or just taking dumb shots or what, but he gets breakaways, he gets in on the goaltender, and I swear there was a point when they were playing the Islanders, getting beat 5 in a row. He probably had a good 6 or 7 chances that were gilt-edged chances and did not bury a single one of them. So,
I wonder if it's not one of those situations with Kruger where it was like, I understand that works, but you're going to do it this way because I told you to. Kind of one of those things. And then he's trying to finesse it different in a way that he's not comfortable with.
Yep.
And it's just not connecting for him. Because Jeff Skinner's not that bad.
No.
Jeff Skinner's
he's not worth $9 million a year.
No, he's dramatically underperforming, but he's not a bad player.
No.
So I think that maybe it was just Kruger was like, I know that works, but you're doing it this way.
Kruger, I mean, for Skinner was definitely a square peg in a round hole for Kruger. Like Skinner's a freelancer. Like he does play defense. It's not like he's just like completely defensively inept. But when it came to the forward side, he created out there. And Kruger's system was so rigid that, it was hard for Skinner to fit in that system. And, the more he bucked against it, the more Kruger just buried him on the fourth line.
Dude, you can tell Philadelphia is so upset right now. It's basically they're 1-for-1 on the power play, the Rags are. And Philadelphia just, on a really, really bad, really dumb cross check, put them back on the power play again.
Yeah.
I can only feel bad for Philadelphia so many times before it's like,
they're doing it to
being Philadelphia. Like, stop being so Philadelphia.
Yeah. They their defense this year has just been inept. I mean, yeah, you can lay some stuff on Carter. You can lay it on Brian Elliott to an extent, although Elliott's played a little bit better than Hart. But this is all defense. This is their defensive structure on that team. I'm actually looking forward to the next time Buffalo plays Philly, because that's the one team we actually have some kind of offensive success against, and perhaps that's the team that we have to wait to play to end our losing streak. So
it's like they have grit, but not the right kind. Like they're very unhinged teen angst, like mad, want to hurt you, like the Broad Street Bullies, except you can't get by with that anymore.
Yeah.
It's they want to play dirty. I understand, like, you want to act like the Hansons out there, but whenever you're losing games, 27-0, it doesn't really pay.
Yeah, although, I mean, at some point, I said this earlier, I would take a team of pluggers getting beat up every night, on the score sheet if they were, crushing the hell out of the other team.
If it's entertaining, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Most entertaining games aren't high-scoring runaway games. Like,
no.
There comes a point, like the other night with Philadelphia, you just cringe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, again.
Same with Buffalo. I mean, teams just kind of go on waves. It's like watching Tampa. Tampa is a team that's like watching the ocean. Like it's one wave after another, and it's like, I see how teams just break down against them because it's kind of like this never-ending, crushing.
Yeah, they're the Trojans.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But let's see. So this week we've got Carolina on COVID protocol. Not Carolina, Montreal on COVID protocol. Buffalo's coaching staff is on COVID protocol tonight. General manager Kevin Adams. Although I need to check the school. Kevin Adams is behind the bench of Buffalo, which who knows? 1-0 Penguins.
I feel like checking the score on a Buffalo game whenever you know it's been on for a little bit. It's like checking your bank account after you paid all your bills.
Yeah.
It's like, how much is left in there? Is there anything?
Not a damn thing. Yep. 1-0. And let's see who got the goal for Pittsburgh.
Brian Rust. I'm guessing here. No?
Oh, I've never heard of this dude. Oh, we're getting scored on by their jobbers.
They probably won't put anybody in against you.
Radim Sahorna.
Oh.
I've never heard of that dude before.
Bless you.
Anyway, so yeah. Well,
I don't think you can say that on air, Dave. Facebook might take us down again.
Just 11, 12 shots. So
I think that pretty much squares us up for the week.
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of uneventful, except for Hockey Hitler getting canned. And
yeah, Boston's back off of COVID protocol tonight. So, but the interesting thing with Montreal is that's the first Canadian team that's had to go through protocol.
Yeah, I wonder what the circumstances around that were. I feel like it's something
they have really
weird.
good strip clubs in Montreal. That's my theory.
I'm choosing words. I wouldn't know anything about that.
Allegedly.
Ask me about Laval.
You're Windsor.
They don't call them the Rockets for nothing.
There you go. But yeah, I think that's good for the week, man. You're off to the Queen City, not Buffalo. There are 2 Queen Cities, and I'm sure there's more than 2 Queen Cities, but Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina this weekend, huh?
Yeah, I'll be in Charlotte on Saturday. I'll be back on Sunday, and then I'm headed to Pittsburgh and Northern Ohio, and then I'll be leaving Northern Ohio to go to South Carolina, and then if
Nice.
I'm not mistaken, I'm leaving South Carolina to go to Florida. So,
Nice. International Man of Mystery here. Well, actually, National Man of Mystery.
yeah, international soon enough. I just got all my passport stuffs approved for whenever everything opens back up. I'll be headed to Russia for a little while. I'll be in England for a little while.
Sweet.
Definitely be in Canada frequently. So Madagascar,
Hit those strip clubs.
Laval.
Your nickname is the Rocket now.
No, I could think of worse ones.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
probably. All right. Well, thanks. Sir.
Here's a fun nickname story, real quick.
Yes.
Whenever I worked at the sawmill, you'll appreciate this. Whenever I worked at the sawmill, my entire crew was Guatemalan, and I was about 300 pounds. In the manual labor industry, if you're a fat guy, you're going to have a bad time. So I was always out of breath. I was always super sweaty, just general fat guy stuff. And they started calling me El Gordo del Blanco.
Was the fat guy?
I Google translated it, and it was the Great White One.
El Gordo del Blanco? Yeah. You're big white guy.
Well, Google Translate was way nicer, and they said the Great White One. And I just leaned into it, and then one day somebody made a joke about me saying I thought I was the Great White One. And then every time I would walk up at lunch, they go, no, like Charles. And then I found out it was just the fat white. So
yeah.
And that's
awesome.
that's my daily Spanish lesson.
There
Love
you go,
guys.
man. Awesome.
A free lesson with a podcast.
All right, so yeah, you'll be watching this Saturday night, and we'll be resting comfortably. Actually, I'll be monitoring the chat and answering questions, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday night, and we'll see you next Saturday
Take it easy, guys.
from a hotel room, I think.
Yeah, probably. Dude, it's hard to tell with me.
Right on.
Maybe.
Cool. All right. Well, everyone have a good night. And if we're on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch right now, still on the Facebook ban. If you're on YouTube, give us a like and a subscribe and hit that bell for notifications when we're on the air. And on Twitter, just give us a little heart and a share. And on Twitch, I don't even know what you do on Twitch. Yeah, give it a little heart. Yeah, that works. But anyway,
Much
we'll
love
see.
from the Rocket.
That's right. Love Rocket. Yeah. All right,
Good
y'all.
night. Good
Have a good night.